Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel Civilka Adda 1M. So those who have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel Civilka Adda 1M. So in this video, I would like to explain about the design of a one-way slab. So how to design a one-way slab with each step-by-step procedure. So watch the video till the end. So before going into the solution, we'll see the question first. A simply supported RCC slab has to be provided for the roof of a room of clear dimensions 3 meters by 8 meters. Width of supporting wall is 300 mm. The width of weathering course over the slab is 1 kilonewton per meter square. So take the live load on the slab as 2 kilonewton per meter square. So design the slab using M20 grade concrete and HYSD bars. So we need to completely design a one-way slab based on this given data. So we'll see the solution. So first step. So watch the video till the end. I am going to explain about each and every step. So watch it till the end. So given data. So whenever we are solving any problem, we need to write down the given data first. So after writing the given data, we'll be understanding what to be found and what all given in the question. So not only for this problem, for any problem. So dimensions of the room is given 3 meters by 8 meters and width of supporting wall it is 300 mm and floor finish 1 kilonewton per meter square. So it is given in the question. So weathering course over the slab is 1 kilonewton per meter square. So which is nothing but the floor finish. So live load is equals to 2 kilonewton per meter square and FCK is equals to 20 Newton per mm square and Fi is equals to 415 Newton per mm square. So this is the given data. So we'll find out whether it is a one-way slab or two-way slab. So he asked to find out the design this slab, right? So we need to find out whether it is one-way slab or two-way slab. So if it is directly given in the question, it is fine. If not, you need to find out. So based on Ly by Lx ratio. So Ly by Lx ratio is equals to the dimensions is given 3 by 8 meters. So 8 by 3 which is equals to 2.67. So which is greater than 2. So when Ly by Lx ratio is greater than 2, it is a one-way slab. So when it is greater than 2, it is a one-way slab. When it is less than 2, it is a two-way slab. So the given problem has to be designed for the one-way slab. So hence the slab is to be designed as a one-way slab. So we'll move into the second step. So thickness of slab. So after writing the given data, after knowing whether it is a one-way slab or two-way slab, now we need to find out the dimensions. What is the depth of it? What is the effective depth? What is the overall depth? What is the effective span? So all that we'll find now. So see here, the second step is thickness of slab. So we are assuming the depth D is equals to span by 25. So we need to take it as the span by depth ratio. So that here I have taken a span by depth 25. So D is equals to span by 25. So if you want to know the clear procedure also, I have already did that video. I'll link that at the end of this video. So go to that procedure also, you can see, so that you can solve for different types of questions also based on that procedure. So thickness of slab. So assume effective depth D is equals to span by 25. So which is equals to span is 3000 by 25. So effective depth is equals to 120 mm. So now we know the effective depth. So we need to calculate the overall depth. So how we can calculate the overall depth? Overall depth D is equals to effective depth plus clear cover plus dia by 2. So adopting a clear cover of 20 mm and using 10 mm bars. So the total depth is equals to 120 plus clear cover is 20 plus dia we have assumed it as 10. So 10 by 2. So therefore D is equals to 145 mm. So D is equals to 145 mm. We know that overall depth also. So we know the effective depth, we know the overall depth. So we'll find the effective span. So you can assume here 10 dia or 8 dia like that. It is not that you need to assume only the 10 dia. So here we have taken as 10. So we have got the total depth D is equals to 145 mm. So now effective span is equals to the least of the following. So we can find out the effective span in two ways. So that the effective span is the least of the following, that is center to center supports or clear span plus effective depth. So center to center supports is equals to 3 plus 0.3. So directly I have written it as 0.3. How we have got? I'll show here. So this is the center to center distance, right? So this one. So we know this completely, it is 3 meters. So that we have written clear span. So 3 meters plus center to center distance of support is equals to this clear span plus this width. So from this center of this thickness to center of this thickness. So half of this will give 1. So that's why I have written it as 0.3, or else you can write as 0.3 by 2 plus 3 meters plus 0.3 by 2. So which is also equal to 3.3 meters. So center to center of supports is equals to clear span plus 1 thickness of the wall, width of the wall. So clear span is equals to this one more way we can find it out, that clear span plus effective depth. So 3 plus 0.12 effective depth, we know it is as 0.2. So here, right? So which is equal to 3.12. So which is the least? So we need to take the least value among these two. So hence effective span is equals to 3.12 meters. So after calculating the effective depth, effective span, overall depth, so we need to calculate the loads. So self weight of the slab is equals to, so here B into D into unit weight of RCC. So B we are taking it as 1 meter. So 1 unit meter into 0.145, which is the overall depth, into 25. So it is equals to 3.625 kilonewton per meter square. So live load is equals to 2 kilonewton per meter square, which is already given in the question. Floor finish is also given in the question, 1 kilonewton per meter square. So the total load is equals to self weight plus live load plus floor finish, which is equals to 6.625 kilonewton per meter square. So now we know the total load. So we need to find out the factored load. So factored load is given by what? Partial safety factor into total load. So partial safety factor is equals to 1.5 into 6.625 will give the design load or factored load. So which is equals to 9.938 kilonewton per meter square. So the next step, step 5, is factored bending moment and shear force. So we want MU and VU values. So here in this we want WU. So to want WU, this is the load calculation. So factored bending moment MU is equals to WL square by 8 and VU is equals to WU L by 2. Right? So WU we have already calculated 9.938. L we have already calculated 3.12 but square by 8. So you will be getting the MU 12.09 kilonewton meter, and factored shear force is VU is equals to WU L by 2. So substitute this L value and W value, you will be getting the VU value, which is 15.5 kilonewtons. So we have calculated what we have calculated in 5th step. We have calculated the bending moment and shear force. So MU and VU. So now moving to the next step, 6th step, minimum depth required. Minimum depth required. So the minimum depth required to resist the bending moment. So MU is equals to 0.138 FCK square. So this 0.138 is for FE415. So here in question he has given HYSD bars, so which is FE415. So 0.138 FCK BD square. So you have calculated MU in previous step. So substitute that value, and 0.138 into FCK you know 20. So B we have taken as 1000 into D square. So substitute all the values. The only unknown value is D. So find out that. So D is equals to 66.18 mm. So we have already calculated the depth, but what we are doing in this step, we are calculating the minimum depth required. whatever we have calculated in the previous step, that is starting step, whether it is satisfying the minimum requirement as per our codal provisions. So how much we have got? 66.18 mm. So in starting step we have calculated the D. How much we have got? 120 mm, right? So 120 mm is greater than 66.18. So the whatever we have taken is, whatever we have calculated is adequate. Hence provided depth is adequate. So tension reinforcement. So moving to the next step, that is tension reinforcement. So mu is equals to 0.87 FIAST D into 1 minus FIAST by FCKBD. So this, for this formula you can refer page 96, IS 456. So mu you know, substitute that and be conscious about this units. So here we have taken it as, we have written it as kilonewton meter. So if we want in Newton meter, Newton mm, 12.09 into 10 power 6 Newton mm, right? So 12.09 into 10 power 6, which is equals to, why we are taking that into 10 power 6? We want it in Newton mm because all these values are mm, D in mm and FCK in mm. So B and D are also in mm. So that's why we are taking all the values into Newton mm. So 12.09 into 10 power 6, which is equals to 0.87 into Fi is 415. AST we don't know, that is the main step we need to find here in this step. So D is equals to 120 and 1 minus 415 AST by 20 into 1000 into 120. So substitute all the values and calculate individually first. So write down this value and calculate this value and write it down and write 1 minus, calculate this value. You'll be getting this. So this into this will give this and this into this will give this value. So make this into x square form and equate it into 0. So 7, bring these two values this side. So 7.49 AST square, here minus, it will become plus here. So it is plus, it will become minus when we are moving it into LHS. So minus 43326 AST plus, this will be here only 12.09 into 10 power 6 and equate it to 0. So calculate AST by using calci. So you will be getting the 293.98 mm square. So minimum reinforcement. We have calculated the reinforcement, tension reinforcement, but we need to even cross check whether it is satisfying the minimum reinforcement required. So how we need to find the minimum reinforcement? 0.12% of gross area. So minimum reinforcement as per our codal provision, it is given as 0.12% of gross area. So 0.12 by 100 into B into D. B is 1000, D is equals to 145. Substitute all the values, you will be getting the AST minimum. It is 174 mm square. So what is the AST calculated? So it is 293.98 mm square, right? So it is greater than the minimum reinforcement required. So hence it is okay. So now AST is greater than AST minimum, hence whatever we have calculated is correct. So we can take that value, AST value. So using 10 mm diameter bars, we need to find the spacing of bars. So after finding the area of steel required, we need to find the spacing of it. So at what distance we need to provide, what center to center we need to provide it. So we need to find that, right? So to find that, we need to assume the diameter of the bar. So using 10 mm diameter bars, spacing of bar S is equals to small AST by capital AST into 1000. So pi by 4 into 10 square by AST, what we have calculated in previous step. It is AST, not AST minimum. So into 1000. It is given as 267.1 mm. So for tension reinforcement, maximum spacing as per our codal provision, that is IS 456-2000, it is least of these two, that is 3D and 300 mm for tension reinforcement. So whereas for distribution reinforcement, 5D and 450 mm. We'll see that in next step. So 3D is equals to 3 into 120 here. D is equals to depth. D is equals to depth. So 3 into 120, which is equals to 360 mm, and 300 mm, whichever is less. So see all the spacing values, 267.1, 360 and 300. So which is least? 267.1 is the least. So hence provide 10 mm bars at 260 mm center to center. So we have calculated the tension reinforcement now. So now we'll move to the distribution reinforcement. So distribution reinforcement AST is equals to 0.12 percentage of gross area. To find the distribution reinforcement, as per our codal provision, it is 0.12 percentage of gross area for HYST bars. So 0.12 by 100 is equals to 1000 into 145. So AST is equals to 174 mm square. So now we'll find the spacing for this distribution reinforcement also. So using 8 mm bars spacing, S is equals to AST by capital AST into 1000. So pi by 4 into 8 square by 174 into 1000. It is not that you need to take only the 8 mm diameter bar. So you can take, whenever you are taking the main reinforcement as 12 mm or 20 mm like that, so you can take reduced value than that main reinforcement to this distribution reinforcement. So as we have taken the 10 mm main reinforcement, so I am assuming here with 8 mm bar. So you can do with the another bar also by assuming it. So pi by 4 into 8 square by 174 into 1000 will give the 288.8 mm. So maximum spacing, as I have said, for distribution reinforcement it is 5D and 450 mm. So 5 into 120, so 450 mm. So 5 into 120 is 600 and 450. Whichever is least, 288.8 or 600 or 450. So it is obviously 288.8. So hence provide 8 mm bars at 280 mm center to center. So now what we have did, we have calculated the complete problem. So we have calculated the tension reinforcement and spacing of it. We have calculated the distribution reinforcement and spacing of it, right? So now we will cross check whatever we have solved is satisfying or not. We'll do check for it. So check for deflection. So for simply supported slab, basic value of L by D ratio is equals to 20 as per our IS 456. So for cantilever it is 7 like that. For simply supported slab it is 20. So percentage of main steel at midspan. So to find this deflection, first of all let me show. To find this check for deflection, we need to find the LD provided and LD basic. So we'll see that. So PT is equals to 100 AST by BD. So percentage of main steel at midspan, PT is equals to 100 AST by BD. So 100 into AST, what we have calculated in starting step. So that by B into D. So you'll be getting 0.24 percentage PT. So now you need to find out the FS. So it is 0.58 into FY. So I'll show this. So why to find this PT, why to find the FS? Because we want this value. We want this value. So maximum permitted value is equals to modification factor into this 20. L by D ratio 20. So we want the modification factor. So to want the modification factor, we need to refer page 37 figure 4. So if you see here, page 38 figure 4. So you can see this formula 0.58 into Fy, right? So modification factor. To get the modification factor, we want Fs value and we want percentage tension reinforcement. So we have already calculated the percentage tension reinforcement. So we'll calculate the Fs. So see here, Fs is equals to 0.58 into 415. So we have got 240 Newton per mm square. So Fs 240 and 0.25 PT, what is the modification factor? So it is 240, so this curve, and it is 0.245. So this will be 0.3 because it is 0.23 and this is 4. So half of it 0.3, somewhat less than that. It is touching here. So it is somewhat nearly to the 1.5. So this will be 1.4. So 1.2 here. So this line will be 1.4. So above that it will be 1.5, right? So when it is 1.6, this area will be 1.5. So it is modification factor for FS240 and percentage tension 0.24. The modification factor is equals to 1.5 as per IS 45 figure 4. So let me clarify this once again. What we are doing here, PT, we are finding PT and we are finding FS. That's it. So based on these two values, we are finding the modification factor. So from figure 4 of IS 456 modification factor 1.5. So maximum permitted L by D ratio is equals to 1.5 into 20. So modification factor into the ratio 20. So it is 30. So maximum permitted value is 30. So now what we are providing, if it is less than this, then it is safe. If it is greater than it, it is not safe. We need to increase again. We need to do the problem. So we'll see. L by D provided is equals to L how much? 3120. We have already calculated in the previous step, starting step. And D is equals to how much? 120. Effective depth is equals to 120. So which is equals to 26. So which is less than this 30. So hence deflection control is safe. So check for deflection is here. We need to calculate the L by D provided and the maximum permitted value of L by D. So that is given by modification factor into 20. So 20 because of simply supported slab, basic value LD is equals to 20. So 20 into modification factor will give the maximum permitted value. So to find that modification factor, we want PT and FS. It is clear, right? So hence it is 26 and which is less than 30. The deflection control is safe. So the problem what we have solved is satisfying the deflection. So it is okay, hence what we have calculated is fine. So now draw the reinforcement details. So completely whatever we have calculated, draw it. So this is the slab of 3 by 8 and so here this is 0.1 L. So from here to here it is 0.1 L. So 0.1 into L, what we have calculated, if you do, it will get the 320. So 10 dia 260 center to center we have calculated, and the main reinforcement and the 8 dia 280 center to center we have calculated the distribution reinforcement. So draw all the detailments and show all the detailments of reinforcement. Then we are done with the problem. So thank you for watching the video till the end. So please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Civil Ka Adda 1M. And to get the other videos whenever I put, so you need to hit the bell icon. So hit the bell icon for the notifications, so that whenever I put the message, whenever I upload the message, whenever I upload the video, so you'll be getting the notifications, so that you will not miss any problem. Thank you all.